Hey everybody, Grayson here, Gundam Gambler, weekly market update, sealed products, singles and slabs, over $250 USD. We'll start off with sealed product as always, then we'll move into singles and slabs. So first off today, we have a beta edition booster pack, not a booster box guys, a booster pack, $250 USD. This seller on eBay's already sold 72 of these and they have 3 left in stock. Kind of crazy. You know, the box, I believe the MSRP was $60 last year, and now just one pack from that box going for $250. Kind of wild. You will see an all-time high sale also on the beta edition box in this video. Then we have the Gundam card game. This is like the first one, the official accessory and card set. $385 or best offer, according to 130 point. No best offer was taken. Full asking price was paid there. Then after that, we have a GDO1 box, new type rising. This is actually a 4 Asia variant. You can tell by the stamp on the box. They do this with One Piece as well. This sold $405. I mean, that's basically where I think market should be, right? On the North American variants. I don't think there's any difference between the 4 Asia boxes and the English boxes. We kind of went over that already in One Piece last year. And those boxes basically sell for the same price now. So not really a worry if you do own a 4 Asia variant, the new type rising box. But 405, I mean, like, you know, I think we expect new type rising at this point to consistently sell at this level. And I wouldn't be shocked end of year if those are $500 plus, right? I think they're only going to get rarer and rarer. I do still think people are opening those. There's still a lot of value that you can potentially get out of new type rising. So keep an eye on that set, of course. After that, premium card collection. This is the English one. This sold for €1,000 or best offer. According to 130 point, it sold for €900, which I believe is about $1,020, $1,030 US, something like that, which if that's the case, and I'm 99% sure it's in that range, that would be an all-time high sale on the premium card collection, which I think I made a video maybe 2 weeks ago talking about these. And I want to say on TCG Player, there were sales like 700, 750, maybe 800 at the time. I think they're just going to continue getting more difficult to find, and we're going to see these continue to run up in price. And after that, we just have a couple booster boxes to close out this portion of the video. So first anniversary set, GDO5. Obviously, this is the talk of the town right now. It's bringing a lot of people into Gundam. 5 LR plus pluses in the set. I think you're going to see all of them selling ungraded in this video. This sold for 1,758 pounds sterling, approximately $2,336 USD. And then, of course, the beta box, which I did mention, this is an all-time high sale, $3,701.51 US. That is crazy big. This is coming from a very large seller. I don't know if they're a consignor, but this is going to be more common, I think, in the future, guys. I would not be shocked if beta boxes eventually one day push $5,000, $6,000. There's a lot of value that you can get out of those top chases. So keep an eye on the beta boxes. In the final sale of the week, we have a case of GDO1 that sold on auction through Probstein, $5,300 USD. Now, before we move into singles and slabs, if you guys enjoy the content, I'd really appreciate if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hype the video. If you are able to do that, it does help out a ton. So thank you guys for the support. Also, if you guys are looking to get more serious about TCGs this year, bunch of useful links in the video description, mentorship program, consultation calls, affiliate links as well if you do want to use those. But again, absolutely no pressure there. I appreciate you guys all being here. Now, starting off with the singles and slabs this week, we have Fatal Strike, which is an SP from Steel Requiem. $255, pop 46 currently. I do expect a lot of these pops to get higher as time goes on, but I think it's a really cool artwork. I love the SPs in Gundam. When you see them in person, it's very easy to tell it's an SP, and I like a lot of the artwork. I mean, Bandai just continues to put out bangers, whatever game it is. Now, you're going to see a lot of EX resource cards in this video, a ton of these in GDO5 selling anywhere from, you can see here, like $289 up to I think about $800 ungraded. So first one here, $289, not really anything too crazy. Definitely not one of the top EX resources in the set. Another one here going for $300, a little bit more expensive, but obviously not on the level of the Lacus. Gundam Epion PSA 10. This is an LR Plus from GDO2, so dual impact, $375 there. That is currently pop $250 Gundam Aerial Rebuild, this is from New Type Rising, PSA 10, 550 Canadian. That's approximately $390 USD. Another, you guessed it, EX Resource, $414 ungraded. A lot of these, by the way, very good condition. A lot of these also are being sold by quite small sellers on eBay that really don't do a great job at presenting the product. You guys, if you watch the One Piece market updates, you'll know I've gone this rant so many times. If you're a new seller and you're trying to get max dollar for your card, take close-ups, front, back, all the corners. Someone buying this, they need to know the best idea possible, let's say, of the condition of the card. So take a little bit extra time, take more photos, make sure there's no glare or shadow on the card at all, and you'll probably get more for the product you're selling. Now, after that, Destiny Gundam, PSA 10, this is an LR Plus from Phantom Aria, currently Pop 10, and it's 100% gem rate, $449. Overflowing Affection, multiple of these selling. This PSA 10 went for $560 US. Another EX resource here. This is not from GDO5. I actually don't know the origins of this card, so someone can definitely let me know. Maybe it's like a playmat set or something like that. $610 US, fairly expensive nonetheless. Then we have an LR++ Comfort. This is from Steel Requiem, $690 ungraded. You can see at least this seller, they're taking photos of the corners. They're definitely not the best cropped photos, but hey, at least they're putting in a little bit more effort than some of these other listings. Now, we do have a EX resource here. This one, the more expensive ones in GDO5, $775 or best offer. Corner 130 point, it sold for full asking of $775. There was another sale here though, $700. Some of the very early ones, you can see this was July 24th and July 23rd, $225 and $345. It's always interesting because the, first couple days of release or maybe even pre-release, sometimes sales are very high and you'll see things come down after release. Sometimes it's like this, and the first few sales are quite cheap, and then you see the sales afterwards getting increasingly more expensive. And we're going to see that with a couple of the LR pluses later on in the video. Look who's here, EX Resource. I believe this is the most expensive one in the set right now. $800 or best offer. It sold for full asking of $800, and there are multiple sales in the $700 to $800 range. So it is consistently at this price point. After that, we have EX Base. This is from, I believe, the Edition Beta early trial event, and this went for $1,125 US, Pop 89 currently. Then after that, we have the Wing Gundam Zero. This is an LR Plus from GDO1, $1,125. Now, I do want to point out, I saw an auction sell for like $690, I believe. So this is definitely the higher of the two auctions that we saw this week. However, last week, I want to say it was closer to this price point than the $690. So that's why I chose this sale. But we'll keep an eye on this card over the next couple updates just to see where it ultimately ends up going. Either way, Pop 333 currently. Then after that, we have Destiny Gundam, an LR++ from GDO4, $1,250 your best offer. Corner 130 point, it sold $1,125. So good to see that an ungraded card from a $100 booster box can sell for over 11 times that amount. Then we have Master Gundam. This is the first LR++ we'll see from Freedom Ascension. $1,300 best offer. This one sold for $1,150, but I think you do have a little bit of room here. Anywhere between $1,100 and $1,300 I've seen sales. Also, I do think there is a little bit of misinformation being thrown around on Gundam. Some people who are anonymous but make videos about Gundam sometimes say that, an LR++ is guaranteed in a case. Guys, that's not the case in Gundam. I don't know for sure if that's the case in GDO5 because I haven't really looked into the pull rates yet. But for GDO4, right, and GDO3, GDO2, I think even GDO1, we're looking at like 1 in 2 to 1 in 3 cases. That's what most people say. It's not a guarantee. I want to go on a limb and say it's probably closer to 1 in 3 cases, right? That would basically be in line with how Bandai does One Piece and how often you'll get the top manga chase. So I imagine it's closer to 1 in 3 than 1 in 2, but Moving on, after that, we do have the Sazabi, which is another one of these LR++s from GDO5. 1,300 or best offer. This sold for $1,169. Then after that, we have G Quux. This is another LR++. I believe it's from Dual Impact. 1,200 bucks or best offer. According to 130 point, it sold for full asking of $1199.99 if we're being specific. After that, we have the Barbados Lupus. This is the new type challenge winner card, and this sold for $13.50, guys. So these are getting a lot more expensive. I saw another sale at $12.52, so that kind of adds a little bit of credence to this sale here, which if you look on TCG Player, I think recent sales there are closer to like $850, $900. Maybe there's that one sale at $1,000. So these cards continuing to get more expensive in price. Then after that, we have G-Fred, another one of these LR++s. This is from Steel Requiem, $13.50 on auction through PSA. It's currently pop 58. Then we have New Gundam, another one of these LR++s from, you guessed it, GDO5, 2K or best offer. Corner 130 point, it sold for 1,500 bucks. There's another sale here at 1,500, July 27th. Before that, 1,600, 1,125. So it is a little bit all over the place. A $2,000 sale as well. So I think 1,500 is probably a decent average for this card right now. Then after that, we have a BGS 10 Pristine. This is a new type challenge top 4 card. This is Hammond Karn, and this sold 1,500 or best offer. Corner 130 point, it sold for full asking of 1,500 bucks. So pretty big sale there. We have another BGS card here. This is a 9.5. And if you have more information about this card, definitely let me know, because I don't know too much about it. It says from the World Championship, Hero U, 2,600 Canadian or best offer, corner 130 point. It sold for full asking of 2,600 Canadian. So that is approximately $1,843 US. We have about a dozen more cards to get through here, guys. Soleta Mercury, BGS 10 Pristine, another one of these new type challenge top 4 cards, $2,000 exactly. So I think over the past couple weeks, a lot of people have been focusing on the winner cards from new type challenge, but now we're seeing a lot of these top 4 sell, which is interesting. So keep an eye on these guys over the next couple months. Strike Freedom Gundam, $24.99.99. This is the 4th LR++ from Freedom Ascension. It's the second most expensive. I don't think we knew out the gate. I mean, maybe some people did that the wing was going to be more expensive than the Strike Freedom, but they were fairly close on release day, whereas now I think there's a little bit more separation between 1 and 2. But either way, $2,500 ungraded. Pulling a card like that out of a box that has an MSRP of $120 that you can currently buy for like $200. That's incredible, right? And the fact that there's 5 of them in the set, they're all currently selling over 1,000. You have one over 2,500, or at least over 2K if we're being conservative. And then the top hit being even more expensive. We are really looking at this, and you know, it kind of reminds me of OP09, which if you guys were in One Piece, OP09, first set to have 5 mangas, with the exception of PRBO1, which had all the reprints, right? 5 original mangas, Gold Roger being the most expensive, but then you had the Luffy, you had the Shanks, the Buggy, and the Blackbeard, all the Emperors. And unfortunately, we don't have a gold LR++ here, but point is, you have 5 top chases. They're all going to be very difficult to pull, and they're going to be incredibly expensive. So very, very bullish on GDO5 still. I think it's going to bring a ton of people into the TCG. But after that, moving on, Destiny Gundam, LR++, this is from Phantom Aria. PSA 10, there's currently only 28 of these in existence, $2,650. Guys, I would not be going out and going crazy trying to buy up these PSA 10s. I really do think, you know, if you can find ungraded copies that are in pretty solid condition, probably going to be better to just go that route and grade them yourself. I mean, I know PSA right now, absolute headache. You could send them off at the highest tier. It's probably still going to be better EV that way than buying these PSA 10s on auction when the pops are so low, which again, I do think these pops are going to increase dramatically if a lot more people hop into the game, realize, hey, you know, this card that's sitting in my binder that I haven't done anything with over the past 3 months, I may as well just send it off to PSA, see what happens, right? So that's kind of what I assume is going to happen in the future. But a few more cards here to close out the video. We have a Japanese Gundam Aerial. This is from the beta box, of course, in Japanese. $3,088 in a PSA 10. That's currently popped 212. After that, we have the fifth and final LR++ from Freedom Ascension, Wing Gundam Zero, $5,000 or best offer. According to 130 Point, this one sold for full asking of $5,000. Now, on July 25th, there was a sale, $3,500. On July 25th, there was also a sale at $2,500. And again, that's kind of some of the first ones coming to market. We also had another sale on July 24th, $4,250. So I think if you look at some of the more recent ones, they're both over 4K. If you want to average it out, even being conservative, saying $4,500, that is a crazy expensive top chase from a brand new set, especially in a game like Gundam, which again, nobody is paying attention to. Guys, this game, it's only a matter of time, in my opinion. But that's going to be it for the LR++s from that set. I'm sure we'll see them in future videos. Gundam Barbatos First Form, another LR++. This is from Dual Impact, $3,550 in a PSA 10. That is currently pop 109. And just a few more cards here to close out the video. We have an AL Strike Gundam. This is from the beta box. This in a PSA 10, $4,500 US or best offer. According to 130 Point, it sold for 4K, which is still crazy expensive. And it's not even close to the most expensive card that you can pull out of the beta box. Couple more sales here. We have the Wing Gundam, which again is from the beta box. This is, of course, the Japanese version. PSA 10, $7,200. English version, I think, selling for like 25, 30K in a PSA 10. The final sale of the week, it's actually going to be a black label. So this is Zeong, an LR++ from Phantom Aria. And this sold $11,000 or best offer. And they didn't get 11K, but still $7,500 for a black label LR++. Guys, we are just getting started in Gundam. Some of these cards are incredibly expensive, and a lot of them are great. You know, I've talked to multiple people this week where they've opened Gundam for the first time, and they've all said the same thing, like, wow, these cards are amazing. They look great. I mean, Bandai, we all know at this point, they are able to put out a legit product that's very high quality, much higher than Pokemon, even though some people still cope and don't think that's the case. But amazing cards. They're absolutely beautiful. And you know, the more time I spend interacting with Gundam, I'm almost done Seed on Netflix. Of course, I still have a ton to learn, but I'm at a point where I actually kind of like watching it. You know, it's not just research for me and, you know, getting an education and respecting the hustle. It's something that I think I could watch more of in the future. And I probably will. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comments down below. What was your favorite auction of the week? Let me know as well if you guys are currently buying anything, whether it's sealed products, singles, slabs. What is your strategy moving forward with Gundam? Again, if you guys haven't already, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. We're just getting started, guys. There's tons more videos to come. Hopefully live streams as well in the future. That should be fun. So stay tuned for that. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. I'll catch you guys in the next one.